Good morning, students. I am Mutturajan. I am very happy to welcome you all to this online class. In this class, we are going to see a poem written by Mr. Nissim Zaikal, who was a Jewish Indian poet. The title of this poem is Entertainment. There were many forms of entertainment are there, but in this poem, he tells us about the monkey show. Let's see some details about the poet Nizam Zaikal. Nizam Zaikal was a Jewish Indian poet whose writings reflected his close observation of the Indian society. Some of his well known poems are The Night of the Scorpion, The Professor and Enterprise. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award and the Padma Shri Award. Okay, students, let's see the poem. First of all, let's see the poem one by one. Line by line. The monkey show is on. Patient girl on haunches holds the strings. A baby in her arms. Two red monkeys in red and purple pantaloons prepare to dance. Crowd collects, naked to the waist. The Most of Ceremonies. Drums frenzy. Cracks whip calls the tricks to earn applause and copper coins. The circle thickens as the plot thickens. Children laugh, the poor women smooth their hair. A coolie grins at me. His white teeth gleam in the sunlight. Only the monkeys are sad, and suddenly the baby begins to cry, anticipating time for payment. The crowd dissolves, some in shame part with the smallest coin they have. The show moves on. Okay, let's see the poem line by line. The monkey show is on, which means the monkey show had started. Patient girl on haunches. Okay, there was a girl and she was on haunches. So she was sitting in a manner of hiding. Okay, holds the strings. She was holding the strings, which in which the monkeys were tied up. Okay, a baby in her arms. She was holding a baby in her arms. On haunches means crouching down. Okay, so the monkey show started, and two red monkeys in red and purple pantaloons prepared to dance. Okay, so there were two monkeys, and they were wearing red color and purple color pantaloons. The dress they wear was pantaloons. Okay, they were prepared to dance, and crowd collects naked to the waist the most of ceremonies. Okay, so the crowd gathered there, and the most of ceremonies, the prime person in that monkey show who was controlling the monkeys, uh, he was naked to the waist. What do you mean by naked to the waist? He didn't wear his shirt. Okay, drums frenzy. Okay, in a fast mood, in a wild mood, he was beating the drums and cracks whip. Okay, he cracks the whip on the floor and calls the tricks. By cracking the whip, he has uh, ordered or he has intimated the monkeys to perform the tricks. Okay, to earn applause and copper coins. For what he was doing all these things? Okay, to earn applause and copper coins. Okay, so the most of ceremonies he was naked to the waist and he was beating the drums in a wild mood and he cracks the whip and calls the tricks to earn applause and copper coins. Frenzy means a state of wild excitement. Out of a wild excitement, while the beating the drum, the drummer would go wild. Okay, by the sound of the drum. Okay, in a state of wild excitement. Okay. Most of ceremonies means a person who presides over a public ceremony or entertainment, introducing the performance. Here, the master of ceremonies will introduce the performers. Who were they? They were two monkeys. Okay, in the GIF image, you could see how the most of ceremonies would crack the whip. Okay, let's move. The circle thickens as the plot thickens, which means the important part of the story. Okay, the prime part of the story uh, has reached, and the circle, the people around there, they gathered there as the plot thickens. Children laugh. The children gathered there, they were laughing. And the poor women smooth their hair. Okay. The poor women gathered there, they smooth their hair. A coolie grins at me. A coolie means what? Coolie is a person who works for the people. Okay, generally in railway stations we could see the porters. They would lift up the luggages for us for some amount. Okay, coolies. Okay, he was grinning at the poet. A coolie was grins. The coolie grins at me. His white teeth gleam in the sunlight. Okay, his white teeth was shining in the sunlight. Only the monkeys are sad. Why? The monkeys were sad because they were kept under strings. They were kept under control. Okay, while all other monkeys were enjoying their freedom. These two monkeys they lost their freedom and they were kept under strings, and they were asked to wear the dress, the pantaloons. Okay, they were asked to wear the pantaloons, and they were forced to do some actions. They were forced to perform. Okay, so the monkeys were sad, and coolie means a porter in the railway station who like. And suddenly the baby begins to cry. Which baby? The baby in the hands of that girl who was holding the strings of the monkeys. That baby began to cry. Okay, that was the time. for what? Anticipating time for payment. Okay, that was the time for payment. What happened? The crowd dissolves. Immediately, the crowd gathered there. They started moving away from that place. Okay. Some in shame part with the smallest coin they have. Okay. So most of the people they wanted to go away from that place without giving any money to that monkey show man. But some people who are kind-hearted, they in shame they felt that uh, so it was a shame on them if they move from that place without giving any money. Okay, but even though they felt like that, they were not interested in giving a huge amount to that monkey show man. Okay, so they part with the smallest coin they have. The show moves on. Okay, like that every day, every time, and anywhere. The show moves on like that. Okay, anticipating means here expecting, dissolves here disappears. Okay, let's see the poem once again. The monkey show is on. Patient girl on haunches holds the strings, a baby in her arms, two red monkeys in red and purple pantaloons prepare to dance. Crowd collects, naked to the waist. The most of ceremonies, drums frenzy, cracks whip, calls the tricks to earn applause and copper coins. The circle thickens as the plot thickens. Children laugh, the poor women smooth their hair. A coolie grins at me, his white teeth gleam in the sunlight. Only the monkeys are sad, and suddenly the baby begins to cry, anticipating time for payment. The crowd dissolves. Some in shame part with the smallest coin they have. The show moves on. Okay, students, let's see the summary of this poem. The poem captures a familiar scene in most Indian cities, a street show of performing monkeys dancing to the beat of the quavering drum. Quavering in the sense unsteady. The monkey show man in the poem entertainment represents poor rural entertainer who sustains life in utter hardships. In search of money, he moves from one place to another. He entirely depends on the favor of the public. The crowd thickens as the show climaxes, but melts away when the time for payment comes. Okay, yes, let's see the figures of speech employed in this poem. Imagery. Imagery is a name given to the elements in the poem that spark of the five senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. In red and purple pantaloons, this is an example of visual imagery where the poet creates a vivid image of the performers in the minds of the readers. Okay, crack swift. It is a sound imagery. What is the sound imagery? Sound imagery or auditory imagery pertains to sounds, noises, or music. Only the monkeys are sad. This is an example of irony, where the monkeys that provide entertainment for everyone and make them feel happy are sad. Okay, this is an example of irony. Okay, so those two monkeys, they provide entertainment for everyone gathered there, and they uh, make them happy, but they were sad. Why? Because they had lost their freedom. While other monkeys are enjoying their freedom, those two monkeys, they were forced to, they were kept under strings, and also they were forced to dress like human beings, and they were forced to perform in the street. Okay, yes, let's see the next one. The crowd dissolves is a metaphor. What is a metaphor? The metaphor is a comparison between two things that states one thing to another in order to help explain an idea or show hidden. Okay, thank you, students. Have a nice day.